Your soil is not just dirt, it's a living, breathing ecosystem teeming with billions of microscopic organisms that hold the key to your garden's success. Every handful of healthy soil contains more microorganisms than there are people on Earth, and these tiny workers are the unsung heroes behind every thriving plant in your garden. When you nurture your soil's microbial community, you're investing in a natural system that feeds your plants, protects them from disease, and creates the foundation for years of abundant harvests. The magic happens in the rhizosphere, that narrow zone around plant roots where soil microbes and plant roots communicate in ways that would make any social network jealous. These beneficial bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms form partnerships with your plants, trading nutrients for sugars in a mutually beneficial relationship that's been perfecting itself for millions of years. When this underground community thrives, your plants become more resilient, your soil becomes more fertile, and your garden transforms into a self-sustaining paradise. Think of your soil as a bustling underground city where different neighborhoods specialize in different functions. Nitrogen-fixing bacteria work tirelessly to convert atmospheric nitrogen into forms your plants can actually use, while mycorrhizal fungi extend their thread-like networks throughout the soil, essentially creating an internet of nutrients that connects plants across your entire garden. These fungal networks can extend the reach of plant roots by up to 1,000 times, dramatically improving your plant's ability to access water and nutrients even during challenging conditions. The health of this microbial community directly impacts everything from your soil structure to its water retention capacity. Healthy soil bacteria produce sticky substances called polysaccharides that help bind soil particles together, creating the crumbly, well-draining texture that gardeners dream about. Meanwhile, beneficial microbes act as your garden's natural pest control system, crowding out harmful pathogens and producing compounds that protect plant roots from disease. The fastest way to boost your soil's microbial population is to give them what they crave, most organic matter. Compost, aged manure, leaf mold, and other organic materials serve as both food and habitat for beneficial microorganisms. When you add organic matter to your soil, you're essentially setting up a buffet that attracts and sustains the microbial community your plants depend on. Work organic matter into your soil regularly, aiming for about 2 to 4 inches of compost or aged organic material each season. This consistent feeding schedule keeps your microbial community well-nourished and actively working to improve your soil structure. As these organisms break down organic matter, they release nutrients in forms that plants can readily absorb while simultaneously improving soil texture and water retention. The key is consistency. Small, regular additions of organic matter work better than occasional large doses. Every time you till or heavily disturb your soil, you're disrupting the intricate networks that soil organisms have spent months or even years building. These fungal networks and bacterial communities are surprisingly delicate, and excessive tilling can set back your soil's biological activity by months. Instead, embrace minimal tillage practices that preserve the soil structure while still allowing you to plant and maintain your garden. Consider using a broad fork or, a similar tool to gently aerate compacted areas without completely disrupting the soil layers. When planting, dig only as much as necessary and, avoid working the soil when it's too wet or too dry. Wet soil compacts easily under pressure, while overly dry soil can create hard clods that make it difficult for microorganisms to move and thrive. The goal is to work with your soil's natural structure rather than against it. Soil microorganisms are surprisingly picky about their living conditions, and pH levels outside their comfort zone can significantly reduce their activity and population. Most beneficial soil bacteria and fungi thrive in slightly acidic to neutral soil, typically between pH 6.0 and 7.0. Test your soil pH regularly and make gradual adjustments using organic amendments like compost, which naturally buffers pH extremes, or lime for acidic soils and sulfur for alkaline conditions. Moisture management is equally crucial for maintaining a thriving microbial community. Soil that's too dry forces microorganisms into dormancy, while waterlogged conditions can kill beneficial bacteria and fungi while promoting harmful anaerobic organisms. Aim for soil that feels like a wrung-out sponge, moist but not soggy. Mulching around plants helps maintain consistent moisture levels while also providing organic matter that feeds soil microbes as it decomposes. Just as you protect your plants from pests using natural methods like neem oil, which disrupts insect hormones while remaining safe for beneficial insects, you can protect your soil's microbial community from harmful chemicals and practices. Neem oil, extracted from the neem tree, works by making it harder for pests like aphids, whiteflies, and spider mites to grow and reproduce. Mix 1 teaspoon of neem oil with a few drops of dish soap in a quart of water, shake well, and spray on leaves during early morning or late evening to avoid leaf burn. This same principle of natural protection applies to your soil community. Avoid synthetic fertilizers and pesticides that can harm beneficial microorganisms along with pests. Instead, focus on building soil health through organic practices that support the natural balance of your garden ecosystem. When your soil's microbial community is strong and diverse, it becomes your first line of defense against plant diseases and nutrient deficiencies. Building a thriving soil ecosystem is a marathon, not a sprint. The changes you make today will compound over time, creating increasingly fertile and resilient soil that supports healthier plants with each passing season. Monitor your progress by observing changes in soil texture, water retention, and plant health. Healthy soil should smell earthy and sweet, crumble easily in your hands, and support vigorous plant growth with minimal inputs. Remember that every garden is unique, and what works perfectly for one gardener might need adjustment for another's specific conditions. Pay attention to how your soil responds to different amendments and practices, and don't be afraid to experiment with different approaches to find what works best in your specific garden environment. Your soil's microbial community is waiting to transform your garden into the productive, healthy space you've always dreamed of. By following these 4 fundamental tips and maintaining consistent care, you're well on your way to creating soil that not only supports your current plants but continues to improve year after year. Ready to transform your garden from the ground up? Subscribe to Smart Garden for more natural, science-backed gardening solutions that help you grow healthier plants while building a more sustainable garden ecosystem. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to discover the incredible world beneath their feet.